Hey, what's up, man? Before we get started, I just want to let you know that everything that you say in here is completely confidential. And so basically, unless something you say alerts me that you or somebody else is in immediate danger, or a child or a vulnerable adult is being abused, otherwise, anything you say in here stays in here. Does that make sense?
Cool, yeah, right on, man. Sounds good.
Okay. What brings you in here today, man?
Yeah, dude, I'm brought in today. I just lost my job at the meatpacking plant, and I don't really know how I'm gonna like feed my family for like the next like couple weeks and stuff. And so, I don't know, man. I've been like kind of stressed out, and I don't want to put all this like weight onto my wife because she's amazing and she's doing a great job taking the care of the kids, and I'm trying my best to help her too. But like, I feel like I don't really know what to do. Like the economy's like in a pretty tough spot right now. I employment, I'm putting out resumes, I just can't find anything, and I'm starting to question my worth as like a man and stuff. So I'm just pretty anxious today and want to know, see if we can go over some next steps.
Of course, man. That sounds super, super hard, and that's just such a vulnerable position to be put in. Before we talk about anything else, is it all right if I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you thought about any self harm or suicide at all over the past little while?
I think I've definitely like thought about it. I've been pretty stressed. I don't think I'll actually kill myself, but I think it's like it's just really hard. So all options have been on the table, but it would be like a plan Z to me.
So it's not really something that's on the front of your mind.
Not necessarily. It's just more so come up in like thoughts and stuff, and I wouldn't say there's been any like self harm um, thoughts or actions.
And one last thing, would you say that you know how you would do it if you were to try and commit suicide?
Um, no, not really. I haven't maybe thought about that far ahead. Just more so about the idea of escaping the pain.
Of course. And that sounds that's really hard. And at the end of the day, all with suicide, that's all we really want is to escape the pain. And I'm really sorry to hear that you're going through that. So, can you tell me a little bit more? How long have you been out of a job?
Let's see. I lost. Let's see. I got fired, laid off. Probably about 8 weeks ago, I would say. It's been about 8 weeks. The first couple weeks after were, to be honest, they were pretty awesome. I got to spend some time with my kids. Like
Of course.
it was a lot of fun. And I think I spent so much time in my job just being like, man, I can't wait to get to that point in my life where I am like free. Like I can do whatever all day. I can take my dogs out whenever. I can take my kids out whenever. Spend time with the wife. Like it's been great, but savings are kind of draining pretty fast, and those kids got to eat. They're hungry. They like their PB&Js, and so I gotta figure out something. But I'm not doing a good job. I've talked to as many temp agencies and stuff as I can. There's just nothing I'm really finding. I'm worried. I'm thinking if I should go back to school. I don't know. There's just a lot of like career expectations on me right now, and my wife is kind of waiting around. Her parents are kind of wondering like if I'm just being like a piece of shit loser, and
Sure.
so I don't really know. I'm really stressed out by how this is all going.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, already that's a really, really hard situation to be in, and I think that the external pressure of things like that can just make things so much worse, and so that does sound really hard. Um, how would you say your relationship with your wife is right now? Do you feel like that's putting strain? Do you feel like
Yeah, I think so. I mean, generally we're pretty good together, but um, she's being a champ right now. But I know that she is quietly expecting me to step up and provide again for the family before our savings are drained, and we have to go through the process of rebuilding them again. Just because of me just kind of sitting around, just doing little odd jobs every day is not necessarily bringing in the income we need, and uh, it's kind of just brought me into this like very like a lot of like shame and insecurity around like my ability to provide as like a man has been in the question. I
sure?
think from a lot of like like I said, her parents are kind of wondering what the hell I'm up to, and I'm trying, but I also kind of don't know if I want to try anymore because it's hard, and like work sucks, and I love my kids and everything. But if it was just me, like I probably wouldn't want to be like doing this. Like I don't know. I'm in like this very rocky headspace, and I figure I should probably talk to someone about it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a really, really, really hard place to be, where you know you have this change in front of you that it looks like it needs to be done, but you kind of just can't find yourself wanting to do that. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is there a step forward that would feel all right to you? You know, it sounds like thinking about even getting a job is something that just doesn't even feel good to think about right now. Is that correct?
It's kind of both. It's like, yeah, I think part of me is like, the meat packing place was horrible. I mean, it was very dangerous conditions with like the disease of the meat and stuff, and it was just like I didn't like my coworkers. Like there was a lot of like negative aspects that have been lifted off of me, and so I am kind of conflicted of like, yeah, like it would be good because I need to get some money going again, but also like, and this is something I couldn't present to anyone else in my life, but like I'm scared of getting up and stepping into the job because it's like I don't want to go back. It was like it's hard. So I think there's like this confliction of like my manhood, because it's like I need to provide for the kids. Like they need it, but also I like I'm conflicted because my life really, like I wake up, I can sleep in a little bit, I can cook the breakfast, like I'm present at home, but yet I don't know, my wife is looking at me like, hey, are you gonna chop, let's get to this. And I'm like, yes, I will, and I truly plan on it. But I think maybe part of me is like grieving getting like another job, because it's like that sounds really hard.
For sure.
I don't want to give up some of these freedoms that I'm experiencing right now. I like being present with my kids, but money is just stressing me out down the wazoo. So
of course. Yeah, a couple things I want to just point out is, number one, I think it's really awesome the level of self-awareness you have. It seems like you've really thought about this, and very rarely is there a black and white answer to what we're feeling, and it seems like you're doing a pretty good job of kind of holding both sides of that, and I think that's worth congratulating yourself for. And I also just want to point out, like it's really awesome that you do love your kids and that you enjoy spending time with them, and I have to imagine that the people in your life, and especially them and your wife, I have to imagine they do appreciate that and they love you for that. And I think that that's something that is definitely worth, again, just giving yourself credit for, and remembering that there's more to manhood than just making money. And I think that that's really awesome that you're feeling a drive to go do that. And I think it's also just really, it shows a lot about you that you are going to miss being at home.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about these like odd jobs you've been doing.
Yeah, I've anything I can really find around, like people put up on like Facebook, like, hey, I need someone to come weed my yard for $20 an hour or whatever. Yeah, I've taken on a couple of those, and it's just like local people, and I think there's like a part of me that really enjoys like working. I think it's like good for me, but I also just kind of like the structure of life, of like kind of just being able to do whatever, but also it doesn't pay the bills. And so it's like I like being able to be present. I like being able to kind of separate my life into working only 4-hour chunk here, 4-hour chunk here. Like that's been super nice. And so the idea of going back and like like at the meatpacking plant, I was working 12-hour shifts, and getting time off was basically impossible. I had to miss a lot of things, and coming up, there's things that because I don't have a job, I can do that I probably couldn't if I had a job. And so it's like I'm excited. I'm looking forward to those things. But like if a job comes back into my life, I might be sacrificing those things. And so that's like the emotional challenge for me right now. Is I just it's like I'm ashamed that I'm not making money. I'm relatively happy in the position that I'm in. And also, like, it sucks. Like, it's just this like tornado, and it's put me into this place of like confliction, and I don't know how to like really handle it or like look at it. But like I just kind of need like a third eye on that,
Would you be interested in thinking a little bit about the long-term future right now, or is that not something that you feel like would be very helpful?
Yeah, I think about it. I don't really know what to do. It's like on one hand, it's like bills are not going to be paid in 3 months' time at this rate. I mean, unless I get like unusually lucky. And so, yeah, I think it'd be nice if I could set myself up for it. But I feel like a lot of schooling and trainings for like positions require a lot of upfront like time and money that I don't know if I really have the luxury of like going to HVAC school for 3 months, affording it, and giving like the time and recognition that it needs, and also if I would just even enjoy it in the first place. And so I feel like I'm maybe in this like analysis paralysis point in my life where I'm trying to like it's like, yeah, like maybe I could look at the long-term future, but maybe I look at the short-term future and just say like, I got to pay my bills, so I got to find something today. But also, once I find something for today, maybe I fall back into a pit of like comfortableness where I don't get a better job, and then I just keep reliving the cycle for the next like 10 years or so. And so, yeah, I don't really know what to do.
So I mean, it sounds like you're feeling pretty confused right now, and it does sound like the financial needs are pretty pressing, and so that's not something that you can ignore for too much longer. It sounds like, but it also sounds like if you were to go back to the job that you had before, or just a similar setting, it's really not what you want, and it's not going to be what's best for you. Does that all sound pretty accurate?
Yeah, absolutely.
So would you say that right now the most urgent issue is finances, or are you more worried about something else in the near future?
Yeah, I think finances would probably be the top priority. I think it's the root of all of this like confliction, with like my kids and the stress that it's like putting me under. It's like I'm unemployed and I'm this stressed. Like that's, I don't know. Like I never really thought it'd be this way. I thought unemployment would be this like bliss experience, but after 2 weeks, it has become this mental challenge that I never really been like equipped for.
Of course. So, it sounds like there's a lot of shame involved with the unemployment. Would you say that that's the source of most of this kind of?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of
Okay.
shame. Yeah, shame.
Sure. My first question is there any kind of step as far as finances go, aside from getting a new job, that we could look at right now? Is there somebody you could talk to, or some help you could get anywhere?
Yeah, I'm sure an actionable step would maybe be, I don't know. I think it's like keep doing what I'm doing, which is like the Indeed like online search, because I don't know. I haven't really tried to talk with many like people around me, or like really open up about this to people around me. So far it's just kind of been this like anonymous like chuck a resume in and see if they pick me out of the batch of 50 resumes that they also got in that same day. And so, I mean, and I've talked to like a couple temp agencies, put in applications there, and they said they'd get back to me if anything came up. So, I mean, yeah, not super like personal like attempts, I guess, but a lot of online anonymous type stuff.
Sure. Is there any resources that you're aware of in your personal life that you think that you might be able to get any kind of financial support from?
Well, I mean, the local church that I attend, I've always been kind of hesitant to reach out. And similarly with unemployment, I think I qualify for that, but I've also maybe had too much pride to sign up for one of those services. So, I mean, I think there's a bit of like ego and pride mixed in with this. Like, there's resources that could help me and that could prolong this like 3-month stretch, but maybe I'm a little hesitant to like sign up for that, because it's like I'm capable of providing for myself, but also like I'm kind of not at the same time right now, and so that's also playing into this like conflicting whirlwind of feelings.
Is that something that you'd be interested in trying to take a step toward today? I think that I heard you saying that you are capable of taking care of yourself and of your family as well, and I think that that's probably completely true, and it sounds like you've proven that a lot. And it sounds like right now you're at kind of this situation where the world around you is not exactly giving you the results that you're looking for. Is there any room, do you think, for taking a step toward maybe reaching out to your church today?
Yeah, I mean, I probably could. I'd have to I'm sure they'd be like more than willing to help. It's kind of what they do. At least I could maybe like work with them and make like a plan for, I don't know, to make sure that in 3 months I don't lose my house and snowball down the hill in financial crushing that puts me ultimately in a worse situation in a year after I accumulate debt trying to deal with that. So, I mean, yeah, like it's just hard to swallow the pride on something like that, but
Of course.
I don't know, maybe I could.
What do you think it would take to get you to do that? Do you think there's anybody that could help you? Would you like to explore the shame or the pride a little more?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this is not like a unique situation. The leader of my church, locally here is probably seen this a time or two, so he might be like a decent guy to reach out to and just ask for like a little bit of help on.
Sure.
Um, at least and you know, talk about that, and then while he's also the one that's giving me the money, he understands the confliction and how my effort is to get off of that money as fast as possible. It's an option.
Is that something that you would be willing to make a plan to commit to today with me?
Yeah, I mean it's hard for sure, but I could yeah, I could do that.
You know, what I'm hearing is, you know, there's so much shame and there's a lot of financial stress that is very real. And you also really don't want to go back to the situation that you were in before. And, you know, what I want for you is I don't want you to have to feel all that shame. I don't want you to have to be financially stressed, because it sounds like you are kind of, you mentioned analysis paralysis. Like, you're at this place where moving in any direction feels really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I also don't want you to have to go back to a job that you hate. You know, I want you to be able to integrate some of those things that you found in the past few weeks into your life in the future. And you know, to me, it sounds like a really awesome step would be to give yourself a little bit of space and maybe extend that 3 months a little bit longer, so that you can think a little bit more about what you want your future to look like. Does that sound okay to you, to try and reach out and see if you can't open up to that guy? And
yeah, I mean, part of me worries about like kicking the rock down the road a little bit, but also this does give me more time for job opportunities to present themselves, and yeah, just give me a little more time to make sure I'm going to put myself in the best position for not only myself but my family going forward. So,
sure.
yeah, I think like I just came in very anxious about the idea of like, do I need, like, is everything I'm doing today wrong or whatever? But I think it's helped talking to you, because maybe in 3 months, like, I don't know, it's giving me a little more peace about the 3 months and the approach I want to take to it. So
For sure.
I appreciate that. It sounds like a step I can you know, go home and make happen.
Of course. And, you know, it sounds like you are putting in a lot more effort than I think you're giving yourself credit for. And, you know, you really are thinking about this. You're trying to get your life back on track, and it's something that, you know, if I were to take a guess, it sounds like you could probably trust yourself to. You mentioned being worried about kicking the rock down the road, and I think you could probably trust yourself to do a good job. I think you can trust yourself to do what you need to do.
Yeah, man. Let's hope it goes all well. But
yeah, well, thank you for coming in. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
dude, honestly, man, I think that should be all. I appreciate giving me the time of day.
Yeah, of course. Well, good luck, and I'd love to hear back from you next week and see how your conversation with your church leader went.
Sweet, thank you.
Okay, thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah.
That was